Romney's objective was never a focus on creating jobs.
Newt attacks because he has more baggage than the airlines.
The ads are everywhere. Their source, a new breed of political action committee aptly named the Super PAC.
This is the first presidential election where we're watching these new creatures that can take any amount of money from just about any entity or individual and spend it any way they want as long as they're independent of the candidate.
And boy, are they spending some $34 million so far in the 2012 race, according to the nonpartisan Center for Responsive Politics. There are almost 300 super PACs currently registered.
And much of this explosion can be traced back to the Supreme Court and the landmark Citizens United decision 2 years ago. The justices eased prior restrictions on federal election spending by outside groups, allowing corporations, unions, and advocacy groups to spend unlimited amounts of cash to influence an election.
5 more conservative members in the majority said, this is an easy case. This is elections. It's why we have free speech. Therefore, this is constitutionally protected.
The ruling put corporations and unions on equal footing with individuals who have, in reality, been able to spend their own personal fortunes advocating for campaigns for decades. For example, Newt Gingrich supporter Sheldon Adelson and billionaire Democratic backer George Soros. Previously, though, those fortunes had to be spent by the individual directly, not through a group like traditional political action committees. While experts dispute the direct impact of the Citizens United decision, they agree it created an environment ripe for historic spending in elections.
It's always been true in campaigns that money is like water. It will leak around, find the cracks and crevices. It will find ways to evade restrictions. But Citizens United, on some level, just blew a hole in the wall and said, you know, come on through, the Constitution gives you this right.
Some rules still do apply. Super PACs must disclose their donors and cannot coordinate with a candidate or campaign. But outspoken critics of the ruling call it one of the worst decisions in the court's history.
It's now the system under which we operate, which leads to this kind of campaigning and will lead to corruption and scandals. I guarantee it. When you have that much money washing around campaigns, there will be scandals.
Another critic, President Obama himself.
I don't think American elections should be bankrolled by America's most powerful interests, or worse, by foreign entities.
But that hasn't stopped his supporters. Former White House Deputy Press Secretary Bill Burton heads up a super PAC backing the president.
It was my view when I left the White House that the president shouldn't have to go, shouldn't be left undefended against all these attacks that are coming in from the outside. There's going to be a lot of money in this race, make no mistake.
Bottom line, like it or not, huge spending by outside groups is the new name of the game in politics. And every candidate in this presidential race has close supporters ready to play that game through super PACs. Kate Baldwin, CNN, Washington.